Welcome to the Mark Attwood Show, Adventures of the Cosmic Suit. From slightly reduced circumstances, I'm in a shitty Airbnb in Derry, in the north of Ireland, which is a city full of symbolism and wokeness. Quite shocking to walk around it with my kids today. And if you don't believe me, there's an amazing Telegram channel that you should go and look at called Symbolism in My City, Derry, Ireland, the World. Because I'm not the only one that spotted this. And I'm joined today by Gabriel. Hello, Gabriel.
Hello.
Who's in Reno, Nevada, who's been exchanging some emails with me over the last year, really. And we're going to talk about the connection between Q and God. Over to you, Gabriel.
Let's do it. Okay, for me, Q is everything. Not in the sense that it's like a conspiracy theorist and this Q team. It is all of those things. That's what you make it, of course. But Q for me is God because of the numerology. So when you do G, it's the seventh letter, O is 15, and D is 4. For me, the way I get the numerology is anytime like the O is 15. So I do 1 plus 5 is 6. I always bring the double numbers down to a single denomination, and then I add them up. Then you get the letter or number 17, which is what? The 17th letter of the alphabet, Q. So for me, it's God. And if you add 1 plus 7 to bring it down to a single number, 1 plus 7 is 8. Turn it sideways, it's magnetism, rising and falling all the time. It's the infinity symbol. So every time I hear Q, I always think, wow, I know some know this, but it's time for it to be heard. Everyone must know that really 17 or 8 is God. Everything is God. All the numbers are. But for me, hearing all this Q talk and all this stuff, it's God working through man, trying to help wake everybody up and bring you back to the God field. Source. With a lot of
it hit me a couple of years ago, and I've been learning about myself. And when it hit me, and I discussed with a few friends at the time that it was God, and a few other podcasters said the same thing around the same time. But I don't generally do numerology. I've been starting to do a bit of it recently because there's just plenty of other people do it really well, and I'm more of a poet and a talker. And when I was in the States last year, I met Ethan Lucas. I don't know if have you seen Ethan? And
yes,
Ethan had written this book called Q and the Jesus Connection with Q.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm probably on the right lines here, because it's incredible how Q is attacked. If you look at the way it's been attacked, if it is such a crazy conspiracy, why does it get attacked on international media, which is controlled by Satan? So it's actually extremely. I mean, Q said a couple of things. It's going to be, it's a lot of things, but it's going to be biblical because it is.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I just did a little test on you, which I might tell you about after the call, which is related to the biblicality of this conversation. And secondly, I loved it when Q said, "You won't believe who's talking to you here."
Wow, cool. Yeah, no, it's See, I'm not this big like professional numerologist. I started learning about it probably about, I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago. About 2015 is when I really started going, wow, there's more to life than what's going on here. And that goes way back to my parents, because they were always into cosmology and astrology and all this stuff my whole life growing up. That's why my mom named me Gabriel and all this stuff. But I got caught up in the system. Hey, buddy, what's up?
I'm to say hi to him too.
Yeah, you want to say hi to Mark real quick?
Hi, Zen.
Hello.
Okay. Here. Come in here so I can see you real quick, and then I want to get back to my story. This is Aiden.
Hi, Aiden.
Look at the phone right here, buddy. He's pretty much blind, so
Hi, cousin.
Hi, his cousin. Okay. Let me finish my show, okay, buddy?
Yeah.
Okay, love you.
Love you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay, so where was I? I know I was saying something about my parents. So it goes way back, and there's a whole nother story with that. But then about 2015, I started getting into Vedic numerology and slight astrology and stuff, because my parents had always kind of been into that kind of stuff. And when I was younger, they had me in like second, third, and fourth grade, like Christian schools and stuff. And I thought, wow, like I felt like I was being bombarded with it. So of course, as I got a little bit older, it's like I kind of knew a lot of this stuff already, but yet the system had got a hold of me. So in about 2015, I really started getting into numerology, and then flat earth came, which I call biblical earth. And I was like, whoa, here we go.
I know. It's mad, isn't it?
So yeah. So it's like it really, really, really like hit me like a brick, So all of a sudden, my connection to God, or the God field, like instantly got reconnected. And I started getting all this stuff with numbers. And I didn't understand it at first. So I had to start reading all these articles on numerology and stuff. And there's so many people that are better at it than me, but I do it my own way. I've kind of taken a little bit of, how this person, and this person does it. And God just said, you have your own way of doing it. So, it's okay to, see it the way they see it and they see it, but you have your own, because we're all part of God.
Mm-hmm.
Q is you, Q is me.
I know.
So
I know,
like in the,
I know. I'm getting the bumps as you said it.
Yeah. Well, it's true. Yeah, me too. Because like in one of those diagrams I drew you, it says QRST is how the alphabet goes in the forward way, right? Because you can mirror and flip everything upside down.
This one?
No.
Okay.
It'll actually just spell out QRST.
Just gonna find which one it is.
It's on my phone. That's why I keep leaning forward. I'll get my computer set up for next time.
Oh no, I've got it. I've got it.
I've
got it. Okay. Give me a second. Go here. I'm gonna go here. And
a bunch of drawings with sacred geometry and stuff. And I don't even know how I started doing this stuff. It just like I wake up and I just start doing this stuff,
Look, it's the same for a lot of us, with my poems just came out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like giving birth, they just came out. And there's a lot of people that experience this kind of thing. It's God consciousness coming through us. It
is. Okay, so it's hard for me to see it, but you can see right there where it says QRST. So yep. QRST equals actually Christ. QRST is like a Christed consciousness. It's like the Christos oil rising. It's like you coming into this God field and all these different, streams of consciousness or these beams of light, because all light is energy and stuff. So then if you take the QRST and then you add the U, and then you can always do things forwards and backwards in numerology, right? You can add the numbers. You can see there's so many ways to do it. So then if you get into the etymology of each letter, and I didn't get into each one because then that rabbit hole just keeps going and going. I just basically broke it down. S is the sound wave, right? Because God said, let there be the word. And then boom, right? Everything started coming into creation. So S is the sound wave. T represents the physical plane of existence. So if you get rid of the sound wave and the physical plane of existence, and then say it backwards, you are Q in the physical plane of existence. So you are God, you are Q. Q is all of us as a whole. And it's amazing when you start tapping into this stuff, because this kind of stuff never ends. I mean, never ends. And this is the kind of stuff that they're trying to keep all for themselves and invert it and flip it upside down and use for evil. We're taking it back, man. No way.
Yeah. 100%.
No way. And there's a whole story that I think I emailed you about a year ago. I had a bunch of numbers come to me. I see all the numbers as good, but we know that they've hijacked them, inverted them, and they like to do their magic in threes, right? The witch turns 3 times in the circle, and they like to do everything in threes, right? CIA, FBI, all this stuff. Everything's in threes.
KFC.
Yep, you got it. It's endless for these guys the way they do it. I see past all that and realize that it's all beautiful and good, and that's what we're we're here to take it back. But so they love their numbers 322, which is their skull and bones, the death cult, right? So a couple of years ago, I want to say it was in 2021, I started putting out on True Social, people, you need to start paying attention because we're almost in the year 2023. Drop the zero, right? Because in some numerology you use it, some you don't. But they like to drop it. So drop the 0. 223 backwards is 322, which is their skull and bones. It's their X. It's their death cult thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, every super is on the 43rd day of the year, which if you do the numerology on Yale, YALE, is 43.
Mm-hmm.
And that leaves 320 left in the year. So we're in there 223 year. Yep, right there. So I started putting this kind of stuff out there. And then on the 3rd month and 22nd day of 2022, they spray painted BW on my sidewalk, which stands for ball worship, because that's their death cult stuff.
VW.
And then the letter BW.
BW.
Right in the center of my driveway.
Yeah, because Super Bowl is
BW,
also,
like boy and water.
Yeah, I was just going to say Super Bowl is also superb owl, which is Moloch.
You got it. And also B is the second letter and W is 23. So it's 223. So mirror it, it's 322. It's what I was exposing. So that was around the time that I was putting that out there and I was starting to contact you. And when they did that, I thought, man, I got to think of my kids and my wife and everything. And then just recently, God said, you're going to be fine.
Yeah, this is what happened to me.
You know,
that's what happened to me, because I was like,
Yep.
if I do this, am I putting myself in danger? Am I putting my kids in danger? And I got the same message. You're fine. You are completely protected.
Yep.
Just get on with it.
Yeah. And I know it goes so deep that even if they did do something in the physical, which is the lowest form of existence, and I hate to say that because people think that's the most real thing, but that's the truth. God could say, well, they did something to you. I'm not done with you yet. I'll put you right back in another body. You could be a walk-in. So they're going to lose regardless.
Yeah, they can't win. They can't win.
No, they can't. I said, I got to get a hold of Mark now. Now it's time because I've been wanting to, but I just kept, I was in fear. I was in fear as all this was coming in. And that's what they try to do. They try to fearmonger you. And I have zero fear now, zero. No matter what.
Good to hear.
They don't like me. I don't know how I know, but they know they do not like me.
Oh, no,
they don't.
They knew who you were before you came here.
Right. I've heard you say that before. Yeah.
They do. They know exactly who you are, and they do everything to try and stop you. There's so many angels incarnate on earth who commit suicide, become alcoholics, drug addicts, because it's so bloody hard to be here in this frequency, right? But not only that, but that's them coming at you. They come at you in every conceivable angle to try and trip you up and make you trip yourself up.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But we're still
literally
Gabriel. You're named after an angel, and I'm named after a saint.
I know, and I've gotten that message too. I didn't add that in the drawings because I didn't want to overwhelm it. First show I've ever done, of course, but I was told to do it with you, so it is what it is. But yeah, I've kind of done some stuff. I did a little bit on yours. I kind of did your name. You have a bunch of 17s in there. Did you see that? Number 7s and 17s.
Well, I've never done my name. Tom Numbers has done my name and come up with 141, which is the best is yet to come. Quantum leap. It's the storm is upon us. It's all of that in gematria. Yep. And then I had numerology done on my name by a lovely lady in Dublin who said that it came out as a 33-6, which is Christ consciousness. I also see. I've heard so many different things over the last 3 years that my clear message is just take it with a pinch of salt, ride it along. Don't let your ego get involved in it, because you've just got a job, and it's as simple as that. But you listen to this stuff and it is interesting, but I've not pursued it really. But the other thing about my name, the other thing was with my birthday. because my birthday is 1304, 13th of April, which is 17. And check this out. Check this out. I've got to tell you this, actually. I was driving here today, and in Sligo in Ireland, there's so much to tell about Sligo in Ireland. It's, you know, I don't want to say it all on the internet, but it's a very powerfully connected to the Knights Templar, to the Masons, to the Vril, to cloning, to the it's nuts, right? And it's right next door to where I live. Okay. And we're driving. I brought the kids up on a day trip today to look at some bears and wolves and stuff, right? And we're driving up, and if I've got the kids in the car, I'm always yapping. And I'm like, there's this big castle house right on the coast, which I know is to do with the Knights Templar. So we're driving past it, and I'm telling them the story of the Knights Templar, Friday the 13th. And I've always been fascinated by the Knights Templar, and I never really understood why. And I literally got to this Airbnb. So this is also where Mountbatten, Lord Mountbatten, was killed allegedly by the IRA in 1978, I think it was, because of what he was doing at the Kincora kids' home, because he was a famous paedophile. This is King Charles's uncle, also friends with Jimmy Savile, for those of you watching this that didn't know that. And you know, it's unbelievable stuff goes on around that area. But
of course,
I sat down in this Airbnb, I got the internet to work, and I got an email off somebody, and I shit you not, it said, I have to tell you this, I've known this for a long time, but I have full memories of a past life together with you, Mark, when you were the head of the Knights Templar. Yeah. And you took the gold on Friday the 13th. I'd just been talking about it an hour before, or 2 hours before. You took the gold and you hid it interdimensionally, because Knights Templar means masters of time. Right. And you're a time traveler, and you escaped and hid the French gold away from the French king. And I'm like, that's the way this goes. That's the way this is all going, isn't it?
I know. It's amazing, isn't it? It's almost it's unexplainable, really. I mean, but yet it's so fascinating. I mean, it's just mind-blowing. It literally is mind-blowing. And what's funny is you're talking about the Knights Templar. You know, you hear all this evil stuff. Yeah, okay. I always see past all that, because it was all good. It all started with the good. So, okay. So I just ordered this Knights Templar sweater that has this knight on it, and it has the cross, and you know, on my mom's on my mom's side, her dad's name was Childs, which is like Rothschilds, which means the shield. So of course, so of course I'm always attracted to that red cross, not in an evil way, of course, because I'm not about all that, and that's why they don't like me. You know what I mean? Because they know it's
your energy is amazing.
Yeah, no. A lot of people at work, man, they always ask me, "How old are you?" And I said, I'm 50. And they go, 50? Dude, you run around like what the heck? How do you have so much energy? And I never know what to tell them, because I always want to tell them it's God, you know, like, but, you know, it's almost like they got the blinders on. It's not their fault. I mean, I try to help as many as I can, but sometimes it's so hard, man. It's like, it's almost frustrating sometimes.
Oh, it is. It is. Yeah.
But it is what it is. And that's what I'm here for. So
yeah, I'm glad. I'm really glad to have this conversation with you. Do you want to progress the story with, like, when it hit you? You started doing numerology. Was it 2015 or 17?
Yeah. It was like 2016-ish, right around the time Flat Earth started becoming a thing. It's like it all started coming in.
And Donald Trump got in office.
And then in 2017, I found Q. And then that's when I was already starting to look at numerology and know that A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, all the way to 26. And then the way the Masons do it, once you hit Z is 26. And then they just keep going. A is 27, B is 28. That's why they have the letter G, because when you go through the alphabet twice, it's the 33rd. It's the 33rd number. G is the 33rd number when you go through it twice.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that, because I thought it was supposed to be God. But
I drew it down for you. There's like three G's. It's geometry, Gnosticism, and then God. And of course, 3 and 3, there's 3 of them. So there has to be 3 for the G. See, I do numerology a little bit differently. Where is it?
Trying to find the right one.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to see. Here, let me look at this. I have the drawings right here. Where did I write it down? Let's see. This one with the clock on it. I don't know if you can see the one with the clock that I drew.
I don't know if I've got that here.
I didn't send you the most important one. Are you serious?
I've got these 5 scans, but is that one with the clock? Let's have a look. I don't think I've got that one. Did you send it in a separate email?
I might have. Yeah. I just think I forgot to send it. So I'll resend it to you so you have it, because Mark, especially you just looking at this stuff, you don't need to dive into it, get into it. All this stuff activates you. All this stuff is going to take you to the next part of you, which is Q, which is God. So I wrote down here, and I know it's going to be hard to see, like the word theology. It's, if you break it down, it's like the, all, and then OG, right? And O is the void, O is the circle, it's the feminine, and then G is for Gnosticism, geometry, and God, because those are the 3 building blocks of all life, especially with the female, right?
Isn't it interesting?
No, go ahead.
Isn't it interesting that Andrew Tate calls himself Top G?
Yes. And then how all this hit me. See, I really have to send you this one, because this has everything. This has the truth of who we are, which, we're ISBEs, immortal spiritual biological entities, which adds up to 35. 3 plus 5 is 8. There's your 1 plus 7 again, you're 17. Turn it sideways, it's infinite, it's God. See, so once you start knowing all this stuff, these streams of consciousness are like water. They just flow, man. I mean, I wake up and it's like crazy when I go to sleep every night. I can't even explain it. So I'll send you this one. But where it really hit me...
Can you send it to me now while we're still recording? Or shall I pause so you can send it to me? Because I think the viewers would really like to see this. Because I've just been through my emails and I can't find that one.
Here, how about this? I have my iPad right next to me. Can't I just go on our email, scan it, and just send it to you and leave this on? It'll just take me a second.
Yeah, do that.
Okay, here. So here, let me go to your thing. Mark Attwood. What's going on here? Mark Attwood. I'm just going to go to the last one when you said try this, and I'm just going to push reply.
Cool.
And then I'm going to, and then where's the scan thing on here though?
We're recording again.
Okay.
I've got the image.
We were at the 33.
Here we go.
Right.
Can you see that?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Yep.
Talk us through.
Okay. So see, it's hard for me just to explain it. Okay. So let's just start at the top where it says theology. So if you break it down in like layman's terms, the all OG, okay? Yeah, of course people say OG is original gangster, whatever. No. O is the void or the womb, right? Where creation comes in, right? It's the feminine. And then next to that, you have the G, which is Gnosticism, which is the hidden knowledge. The geometry, like matrix, geo is the earthly plane. So geometry, and then you have God as the third one. So there's always 3, right? Because the witch always turns 3 times in the circle, like 107 says. He's correct, right? All judges wear black, and they're up 3 tiers, and the gavel hits 3 times. So there's your 3. They love the power of 3, and then we've always heard that the secrets of the universe are in the 3, 6, and 9. Well, look, it works in increments of 3, 6, and 9. So as people look at this will help activate you. And speaking of the 3, right, you have 33 vertebrae, right? I've heard Ethan Lucas break this down really, really good. So if you add up 3 plus 3, right, 33 vertebrae, 3 plus 3 is 6. And then you have the optic thalamus, the third ventricle of the brain, or your third eye. So you already have 6 plus 3 is 9. And then you have your right and left lobe, right, your right side and your left side. There's the 11. So your coding is 911, right? Just like you're coded with 666 in that other diagram that I showed you, where I drew the little seed of life, and then you can draw, all the platonic solids in there. So 911 was huge because 911 is tied to the 33, because you have 33 vertebrae. You add all those up, your 911 and your 666. And 9/11 happened on 9/11, symbolically telling God, I'm coming for your creation, which is us. Okay. And if you go back and you look at when those towers were built to the day they fell, it was 33 years. So there's your 33 and your 9/11. So they love the power of 3, and then they love the 369 and the 666. And of course, they get a hold of it and they hijack it and they want to put it there so that when you find it, I know you know all this, Mark, but a lot of people need to hear this. You kind of stop in your tracks and go, oh, that's all evil. I don't want to look at that. That's all dark. Well, you have to look past the dark, because it's much brighter when you get out of the darkness.
Yeah.
So you have to keep going.
You have to go through the dark. I've had this argument for years.
You have to.
You've got to. There's no other way.
You have to, and that's why people like you and me and so many others are here to tell those that haven't done this journey yet, because we've all been here many times. We've all done this, but some of us have done it a lot more. And you have to do this, as much as the truth hurts and as dark as it is. The only way we're going to rid of that is to go all the way through the darkness into the light.
Yeah.
That's just how this works. So back to this diagram. So this clock that I drew, I think it's funny because as I was drawing it, I just drew the hands of the hour and the minute on 11 and 2. 11 times 2 is 22, which is the second number. So 11 is the builder number, and then 22, that's like the father and the mother, and then they have the child, which is the 33. There's your Holy Trinity. That's why I wrote all the triune, and then in that small circle to the right of the clock, right at the same plane as the 3 and the 9, I drew that little triangle. See, it all just comes to me, and I'm just told where to put all this stuff and draw it all. I can draw some really cool stuff, and I usually do it in pencil and then go over it again with pen and stuff. But with this stuff, I wanted to be able to erase it and change it and add this and that, because that's just kind of the way it floods in. So how this picture came to me was like a palindrome, 5, 6, 6, 5. So 5 plus 6 is 11, and then 6 plus 5 is 11. So 5, 6, 6, 5. I saw that number like 11, 11. So I started drawing the clock. Then as I started drawing the clock, it said show the 11 and then show the 2. And then from there, I just broke all this other stuff down. And there's so much more to this. I could draw stuff and it would never end. I don't even know how I do it. It's utterly amazing.
Sounds like we've got to publish a book, Gabe.
Yeah, man, I could draw stuff and just keep tying it in with numbers and colors. So let's go to the diagram that I showed you, where at the top it says the 7 chakras.
Yeah.
And then it looks.
I'm going to get that. But while you were talking, something popped up in my head. I'm just going to quickly show you this.
Sure.
You know, when you were talking about the power of 3.
Yeah.
My favorite TV show ever is Doctor Who. And I'm an expert on Doctor Who. Look at this episode. Well, not only was it called The Power of 3, it was all about these black cubes.
Yes, yeah. The black.
And this episode was written by Chris Chibnall, who's the guy that systematically, fundamentally rewrote and destroyed the whole culture and pissed off all the fans worldwide in the last 5 years.
See, you know a lot more about that I've seen Doctor Who and I like Doctor Who, but I mean, I've not dove into it like that. But I mean, I love when you talk about that kind of stuff because you say things that always bring in more stuff. You and others, there's quite a few, and it's all the people that you're connected to. It's really, really strange. And I just got connected to someone that I'm going to turn you on to after the show. I'll send you the link. Go watch their podcast. They were with Michael Jaco. These two people are on another level, like you, Mark. You're going to want to do a show with these two if you already haven't.
Who are they?
Vincent Baccarasa and Brandy Barnes, I think.
Oh,
Oh my! Oh wow, man! Yeah. That's a.
I love meeting new people.
Huh?
I love meeting new people.
Yeah. No, you're really good at it. Yeah. No, you're good at bringing people on and getting everyone connected and stuff.
I like connecting people, and I like to get rid of to keep everybody harmonious and on point, because we have a mission here.
We do, and it's not about us individually. Unification, it's us as a whole. Each one of us has a piece to the puzzle, and it doesn't matter who knows what and who knows more. None of that matters.
It's a team job because we're all part. We're on a team.
Exactly. We all help each other and activate each other, as I say. We all help each other flow how we're supposed to be flowing.
Yeah, exactly.
And I've been wanting to tap into you and others for a while, but like I said, when they spray painted my sidewalk and working in these places, seeing all this evil symbolism, they had that fear bubble around.
You know what? It only works when you're not aware of it. So yes. two nights ago, I stayed in a hotel in Dublin, and I walked into the hotel because I was at the launch of the Children's Health Defence, which is Robert Kennedy's organization. And it was the launch night for the Irish chapter of this. And I stayed in this hotel, and I walked into the hotel room. As soon as I walked into the room, the carpet was covered in pedophile symbols. And because I knew that, it didn't affect me. And in the morning, I met an amazing guy called Joe, and we had breakfast together. And he told me he'd seen the symbolism around the hotel as well. And I was like, here we are. Two guys having breakfast in the hotel, talking about the pedophile symbolism in this hotel. And as we were talking about that, a guy walked past. He was probably 66, 70 years old, in a jacket that was way too young for him, like a puffer jacket, with a 20-year-old or less boy with blue hair in a matching puffer jacket. And we looked at each other and we went, we're right in the we launched the Children's Health Defence, or we were part of that, in a hotel that was 100% child trafficking hub. 100%.
In the belly of the beast is what I call it, especially in Ireland.
We've been in the belly of the beast all the fucking time.
Yeah, we do, but especially you in Ireland. Ireland, I think, is the key to all of this.
It is. It is the key.
I've seen your shows on this, but as soon as I saw it, I started getting the truth bumps like I'm now. I've always known that Ireland was at the forefront. They moved it out from there and said it was Babylon and all these other places. It was when they migrated there, but Ireland, there's two places they have to destroy to take over everything, and they're not going to do it. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm here. It will not happen. But they have to take Ireland down first, then the USA. Those are the two places, amongst others. But if they can get those two on their knees and decapitated,
well, they're
not going to happen.
They have basically done that with Ireland over a long period of time, because Ireland's never been free and it's been subjugated. America got strong, but has been weakened over the last 30 years and is now at the point. And that's why it's all about America right now. And that's why it's America first and make America great again. And Q talks about America. And then that's why I had to come to America. And, it's so important that America doesn't fall, and it's not going to. It's not going to.
Right. No, it's not. No.
But yeah, Ireland is 100% very, very important to all of this. And, I look back on my life and I remember sitting down with my wife at the time going, do you want to move to Ireland? It just came out of my mouth. And I was like, afterwards, I was like, why did I say that? I didn't want to move to Ireland.
But that's where
we get guided. We just get guided.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like me. I was raised in Hawaii, and then I lived in Monterey, California for 10 years, and then we came to Reno. I didn't know why I came to Reno, but now that I've worked in 3 big casinos here in their carpenter shops, um, I had to see all this symbolism and remember all this stuff and how this has been here for so long. This is not nothing new. I know a lot of people are waking up to it and stuff. Once you realize this, they've had this stuff around for thousands of years, and this is nothing new. And we're here to expose it and break that down. I like saying it like this: we will shatter the matrix into oblivion. That's just what it is. I don't care if they like.
It's already happening, baby.
Yeah, yes.
Let's move on to that. Let's move on to that image that you wanted me to share. Which one was it? I interrupted you.
No, you're good. You're good.
The one with 17 on it. Sorry, I've just got this thing in the way.
Yeah, that was just something I wrote. Yeah, that one right there.
That one.
Okay. So on the left side of the page, where I wrote 1 through 7, these are the people that I was telling you that you got to get tapped into, because I've looked at a little bit of their work, and it hit me that this is it, man. This is right on. So you've got the 7 planes of consciousness, right? You've got the first one, which is the physical plane, and then they have the 7 levels. I wrote their name up in the top right: Teachings by Vincent Baccarosa and Brandy Barnes. And they nailed it with this one. I'll send you their link. You watch them. I've already emailed them, and they said contact me. So I just wanted to get with you first. But so the first one is the physical plane with 7 levels, then the astral plane, then the third one is the causal or cosmological plane with 7 planes. And somehow I knew all of this. Once they said this, I started seeing stuff. I don't know how to explain. So I knew it was real. So, and then the fourth one is the Akashic plane with 7 levels, then the mental plane, then the Messianic plane with the 7 levels, and then the Budaic plane. Okay. Then there's 3 more, and they break this down really good, but I added to it because the right side of the page and the top left is me. They broke down the first 7 planes there that I just read to you, and then the 8, 9, and 10 at the bottom. The resolution center, the self-mastery center, and the ecstatic center. They did that. And then I started looking into that. And then I drew this picture that's right next to my bed, and I hung it on the wall. And it was the 7 sounds of creation, which were Untanas, Huertas, Chaital, Guayana, Huertal, Simveta, Ardal. When you say those out, yeah, I knew that.
That's they're like Maha Ka Wa Ta He. It's the same thing.
I knew that was going to do that to you. I knew it.
Oh.
That's what it did to me when I first saw it, looked into it. I went, whoa, man. I started almost shaking. It was weird. So like I showed you in that last diagram, God said, you don't have to go back to it, but God said, let there be the word, which was the sound wave, right? The S represents the sound wave. T represents the physical plane, which ties into this. So then at the top, I wrote 7 chakras, and it showed me the energy flow for this page right here was going the opposite of the clock, which they keep people trapped in. Energy flows both ways, which I'll take you there. But this one was showing me, so it's the 7 planes of consciousness, and at the top it says the 7. You have 7 chakras. Then it hit me. There's 7 colors in our spectrum of light in the rainbow. So I drew that rainbow on the right side of the page. So I started tying all this together. Then I said, wow, it's the 7 sounds of creation that I drew. The Untanas, Huertas, Chaital, Guayana, Huertal, Simveta, Ardal. You, when you're by yourself, Mark, should probably try to say those out loud when you're by yourself and see what happens.
I'm going to.
So then I go too much further with this, but then I started looking, going, wow, look at how the geometry, how I'm drawing those circles, and our spectrum of light ties in with all of this stuff. I mean, and And there's way more to it. It just keeps going and going and going. So then you can see that I drew in the center of the flow on that. The 7 times 5 is 35. 3 plus 5 equals 8. I always break it down to the single one. That's just the way that God wants me to do it. Then I drew the infinity sign, which is the 8 turns sideways, or how creation starts. It starts with the void or the womb or the circle, right? The circle. Then you add the second circle and they overlap. In between, you have the Vesica Pisces, right? That's where the male and female or the two energies merge together and they cross over one another. So if you turn that upright, it looks like an 8, and you still have that Vesica Pisces in there. And what's funny is they know all of this, because if you go look at a drone shot up above the Washington Monument, it's right in the center of the Vesica Pisces. Bring that up, Mark.
I'm doing it.
You know, aerial view or drone view from up above.
Yeah.
That's the one it always tries to give you. There, that one in the top right.
Did you see it?
Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw it.
I did. It went away.
Yeah, I thought I had to move it. Yeah, that there.
Yep. See that figure 8, but the two circles cross over each other, and so like one side's representing the male, one side's the female. When those two cells or atoms join into each other, all the energies in the middle, that's where the baby is formed. That's why I drew you that seed of life one, because I showed that in there, and those numbers tie into you. It's like you
to me.
Yeah.
Me personally.
Yeah. Yes, because there's different ways you can do the numerology, because you can do your whole name, or like here. Let me tie this together. Okay, so my name starts with a G. So let's just use the first letter. G is a 7, right? My last name starts with an A, which is a 1, 7, 1. Mirror that, you have 17. Okay. Now, my last name is AG, which is GA backwards. So I have 7117.
That's
so
also silver.
Yes, it is. And you, if you do it that way, M is the 13th letter. It's in M is for middle, Mother Mary. M is huge. M is like Q. M is big. Yep. So
I'm not allowed to talk about that yet.
Yeah, no, don't. But I kind of know where that's going. Okay, so the M is the 13th. It's the 13th letter, right? So you have a 1 and 3, right? And then A is 1, so you have 1, 3, 1. So in the what's it called? Gematria calculator, you need to type in 1, 3, 1 and watch all the good stuff that comes up with that.
Well, I'm going to do it now.
1, 3. Not that that's your whole numeric value, no. But there's different ways you can get to different things, and we probably won't get to it this one. But I tied this all biblical with your name, with the 7 and the 1 7 and the 1 3 1. I started going through the Bible, going through every single script that has a 1 3 1, and I don't have it here right now because I knew we were going to get off. I can't remember the numbers right now, and it's from yours. And when you go look at those in the Bible, where we're at, this is going to blow your mind. It's telling you exactly where we're at this moment of the now. I hate that word time. I know it's not bad because you have to see past it, but I like now, because now, if you do the numerology on now and 1, I drew it on one of these ones. I don't know which one I did because I was going to have you bring it up.
So I did the gematria on 1 3 1 here.
Yep. It's hard for me to see because it's on my phone. It's so small, but you got some good ones in there, just from 2 letters, M and A, for Mark and then Attwood. Right? M is 30.
What do I put in then? What do I put in here?
Scroll down.
Yeah, but what should I put into the gematria calculator?
Just the numbers 131.
That's what I've done. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And then when you scroll down and then you look in the box that tells you that it's the 131, and you look at the words that are there, and you can start making sentences with all this stuff. See, people are just bringing up little words and stuff. This is connecting all the dots. This is connecting everything, man. This is huge. I mean,
Hidden God,
and
Nag Hammadi.
Yeah, tons of it.
God hidden.
And then if you do your other numerology that other people have told you, and you wrote those down, you just type in those numbers and start scrolling, go page by page, you can start making sentences which are right out of the Bible, and ones that are just for the moment of now. And all this stuff needs to be documented. You know what I'm saying? Because people aren't getting it, man. I don't even know how to explain it really, but I know how it has to go.
Cabal's dead.
See? Yep.
Wow.
It's amazing. It's literally amazing. And that's just with your M and your A.
Wow.
And then if you think about that, so now we're not adding them together. Now we're doing it like in gematria value, 131, right? So 131 is a palindrome. It's 131 both ways. It's like the word radar, spelled radar forwards and backwards, like civic forwards and backwards. So the energy is like ×2, because it's the same thing mirrored. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a palindrome. And they love this kind of stuff. They love making palindromes with sentences, which is a lot harder. And
it is, yeah.
In their headlines, because it says it with the spaces like in between the and dog correctly, but then when it's backwards as it goes through the sentence, the spaces aren't where they should be, but it says the same thing backwards. So it's double the energy at you, baby. And these people are constantly giving their energy reading this stuff, and man, it's like they don't even know what they're consenting to. It's like, no, you can't be doing this kind of stuff. Once
that's how they've done it. That's what I said earlier about occults. The only reason it's hidden is because once you understand it, it doesn't work.
Yes. Here,
their
go
magic only works when you don't realize it's being done.
Yeah. See, like you and me, I can put a bubble around me, and I can put a liquid gold flame of protection, and a liquid silver bubble around me, and all this stuff can't be detected, can't be penetrated. And then I can walk all amongst that stuff, and it's trying, but I can feel it bouncing off. It's not harvesting my energy.
And we all have the ability to do that, which is why we do. This is why you've been called to do this right now with me, because this information, these words, these images will trigger people and make people stronger. That's what this is. This all dawned on me in the last couple of years. That's what this is all about.
Yes, this has nothing to do with me personally. This is about
me. Yeah.
No, yeah, this is about all of us as a whole, not just the group that's helping, but as in everybody, even the evil side, because they're going to come back too eventually. This is about everybody. Where we go one, we go all is everything.
That's the key to it all.
That's why Q is God. Where we go one, we go all. Look at Q's mantra. We go one, we go all. I like mixing it up. Okay, so if you do the numerology on it, W is 23, W is 23, G is 7, right? 1 is A, right? And then it's WGA. So it has a 1-7 and a 7-1 in there. When I did your numerology, you have 7s and 1s and 7s. 717. You have the palindrome in there of 717, which is Q, which is God. And then my name, G and A, and then AG for Aguilar, starting backwards, is at 7117. So it's all connected, and it's all supposed to be.
Yeah.
And that's why they tried to fear me a long time ago and get me to not hook with you, because I haven't hooked with anyone yet. I just knew that it would either happen with you or the correct person.
It's all timing.
It is.
It's all. This is what, if I look at, I think I've done 600 videos in the last couple of years, and sometimes they work and sometimes they don't, and sometimes you connect and sometimes you don't, and it's just all exactly as it's meant to be.
It is.
All of it
is. And in all these big casinos, they have all the X on all the tiles everywhere. They're I'd have to show you the pictures. I don't have them ready right now, but I've taken so many, and
Hey, listen,
it's because
we could do a whole episode on casino symbolism if you want after this one.
I think we should, because I've worked in these for years now. I've got a lot of pictures, but you just went like this real quick when you went like that, and go to this last diagram. This is the last one that we'll bore people with, because I know for a lot of people this is boring. For you and me, it's everything.
This is not boring anybody.
Okay, so go to the diagram where I wrote. You'll see your name right there, Mark Attwood, in the top left. You see that?
Oh, yeah.
So I drew the arrows down to add those up. So Mark adds up to 43. 4 plus 3 is 7, right? And then I wrote mirror, and then 7 is 7, right? So you could look at that as 7 or 77. And then Attwood, you get a 98. What's 9 plus 8? 17. So that's why you have...
No! 17? This is my son's birthday as well.
Mark, my granddaughter, my dogs, my son, they're all born on 17. My son's phone numbers adds up to 17. It's all supposed to be. You know what I mean? It's that's why I sent you the who is Q really decode, It's just God said it's time. It's time. And then there's more levels to that. Someone's going to take it further.
Oh, yeah.
I already, and that's great. That's great.
It is.
So, like I was saying earlier, I like the word one, W-O-N, because one, W-O-N, spelled backwards is now, right? Mm. One, I've won now, right? That's because we're Q, we're God. And then if you write out the word O-N-E, because you can see it in the top.
This is it.
Right
no, this is mad. This is mad. I have to tell
you
this.
They all add up to 7. They all add up to brilliant. 7.
Yeah, they do.
That's why I got the 7 sounds of creation, the 7 colors right there, which is a spectrum of light. And then Vincent has the 7 planes of existence and all that. All of this is tied together. So
I just have to tell you this, because we have to put real stories in the middle of this. So 2 days ago, I was talking to Lewis Herms, and I've asked him to do the forward of my poetry book. And I said, I'm going to change the title. It was going to be called Musings of an Apocalyptimist. And then it hit me last week. I should call it God Wins. That's what I should call it. I wrote a poem called God Wins. It's, And then Lewis said, why don't you call it God Won?
There you go.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to go to it now, but there's a page where I wrote on there. I wrote the numerology and broke it down for God Wins. So I'm trying to find it here. Where is it? I sent you some pictures of how I chicken scratched all this stuff when I was at work before I came home. And where is it? I did God Won.
Oh my God, this is mad.
So, okay, here. I don't know what I did with it now. All the chicken scratch stuff I had. I'll just hold it up to the screen so you can see it. Here we go.
Yeah, that's good.
Here's how a lot of this stuff comes to me. Look at, okay, like God Wins, and I did it, and it's the 7117, and it's those 3 letters all mixed up any way you can do it, which is your name, and it's like mine. It's crazy how this stuff is all tied in. And I did God Won. I put thank Q, like THANK, and then Q. All this stuff ties together, and Q's putting out all these little mantras like that, and all these so-called truthers, which is beautiful that they're using them, but they don't know the power that they have. They're huge. That's why they're there. You know what I'm saying? These people have to.
All these chicken scratches, right? Can you scan them all and we put them into a PDF and we'll give people that as a download or something?
I sent them to you last week, but something happened. Yeah, because I put them all out on my bed and I sent them to you. But yes, I will. Well, because the chickens are the real deal. That's when I'm at work and I go, I don't care who's around or what's going on. I got to stop and I got to write this down.
That's a like download. That's straight from God. It's brilliant.
And
can we pause for a toilet break?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Back in 1 sec. Okay. Trying to pause. We're back.
Yeah.
We're back on.
Pretty amazing.
That's great
Pretty
stuff.
amazing, huh?
Beautiful stuff.
You know, and, you know, I everything I've always done when I was a kid, I was into breakdancing, drawing. You know, my dad was a guitar player his whole life, so I started learning guitar. Everything I've done has always been self-taught, but I realize it's not me. I mean, it is, but it's God, like, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I never liked school, because everything naturally flows when you're tapped in. Amazing. And it's kind of weird how the system can actually grab you, because once my special needs son was born,
it's designed to stop the flow.
Yes, because my special needs son is 16 now, and he was born that way. And for a moment there, Mark, I was kind of like, why would God do that? Who would do that? Like, I was a little bit upset, you know, and I felt a little betrayed almost, you know, and it was supposed to be. He was the best gift I've ever had to reawaken me. But I got into drinking every day, doing drugs and stuff like that. So, I mean, I've had my share of troubles, you know, but it was all supposed to happen to bring me back to, you know, this state of consciousness for this battle that we're in now, because this truly is a battle. I'm amazed at how I walked through. I've only got 2 more weeks left at a casino, because I've been doing it for years. How all these people are still wearing masks, and these people don't even know that they're in a war. And yet the media is programming them with all these paladins and stuff, that war, and the end of the planet, and the end of life, and all this, you know, carbon taxes. You're the carbon atom. You're 666. They don't even get it. They don't even
the carbon they want to reduce.
Yes. And these people have no clue. This is a huge spiritual war. They can't take over the physical until they take over those other realms. And we're here. That ain't going to happen. I don't care. No way.
No, they've already lost.
No.
That's why the timing of this,
they already have lost.
That's why the timing of this is so good. Because it is this time.
Yes.
It has to come to the surface now. It's wonderful.
Yes.
You're doing a wonderful thing.
And I've always.
And by the way,
I hope, because
if I may say so, you'd be a natural podcaster. You should start a podcast of your own.
I've wanted to for so long, but I didn't know how. And then a few years ago, I had a friend dare me. He's like, wow, man, you play Eddie Van Halen's music. Fascinating. You should make a little YouTube channel. So I did. I proved to myself I can do it all on my own. I'm like an autodidact or autodidactic, which means self-taught, right? Yeah. So you know, I created 2 YouTube channels. I did it, but I don't do it anymore. But I did it, you know, like on the basic end, and I figured it out. And then all this crazy stuff started happening. And then I stopped doing that because I got really into this. And then I thought, wow, I could be a podcaster, but am I supposed to? And something told me it'll happen. You just have to wait for the right time. See, I think I was supposed to see all.
Everything that comes out of my mouth comes from there. So I've just told
me
you.
Too.
I've just told you. And you know what else I'm saying? Do a numerology podcast with guitar.
Yeah, because it's all based on like numbers all the way down the fretboard, just like the piano.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Because look, you have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, right? Starts back over. There's 7 of them, right? And right. So each one of those has a number value. So if you really, really want to get into music theory,
do it.
It's funny how these scientists say string theory, and they say all these things which are the mirror of what's really going on. Like, no, they're not getting it. You know what I'm saying? You know, because I see string theory as, like I just said, C, D, B, A, C, G, F. Each one of those has a number value, and you're playing on the strings. Even a piano is a stringed instrument. 7 of creation. God said, let there be the word, right? And then let there be light. Light is the information and the energy, and his breath was the word, which creates everything. So that's why they have all the instruments tuned to 440, because it used to be to 432. All my guitars are in 430.
432.
432.
That's where it should be.
Always. And most people don't even realize. I don't show that many people, but like when they do hear it, they go, wow, that sounds so different. They're not realizing that it's tuned down and it's the natural frequency.
Yeah.
And that's why it's like affecting them, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, I think I will, but what I will do is I've got a bunch of chicken scratch things, which to me, though, I'll never get rid of those ones. The drawing ones, but the chicken scratches, that's the real mojo right there.
Well, look, get all the chicken scratches together, scan them, we'll put them into a PDF, and we'll call it the chicken scratches of God.
Okay. I like it.
And it'll be a bestseller.
Yeah. No, it's got to get out there however it's supposed to get out there, because it's going to help many. And that's what this is about. It doesn't matter if it's chicken scratch and it's in my pocket and it's folded up and it gets wet because I'm sweating at work. It doesn't matter. All of that's irrelevant. What matters is it activating and helping people, elevating them.
This is
bringing
online. This is what 5D is all about.
This is what it's about. Right. And it's kind of funny because it's almost unexplainable, but yet it's so simple. It's so simple when it's God. That's how everything can be autodidactic. It's God. Everything just flows. The energy is just magical.
It's because we are trained by the system to overcomplicate everything.
Yep. Charlie Freak says it well. Left brain, left brain, left brain, Canaanite, Canaanite, Canaanite. He's right. He said that once, and I never forgot that. I'm like, wow, he's right, man.
I was listening to Charlie Freak yesterday. He's still pumping out some amazing stuff.
Oh, all you guys. I mean, there's some fascinating people out there now. And years ago, there's actually quite a few that knew this, but it wasn't really being talked about. I've heard you say that you were trying to tell people 25, 30 years ago, and they were looking at you like a dog, like, what did you just say? Like, it's like you said earlier, timing is everything. It just wasn't time yet.
No, I mean, when you're way ahead of the curve, and I don't say that in any kind of arrogant way. It's just like,
no, it's true.
I started seeing things, and I just had a flashback then to being at a dinner party, and by the end of the dinner party, I stood up on a chair and was screaming at everybody in the room, and they still didn't get it, and I went, "Oh, fuck you all," and I just went to bed.
That's so funny.
So, but it has also driven me mad, being like this in this world when you're always out of place.
Yes.
And people see, the funny thing is people pay lip service to understanding you.
Yes.
People will say anything to get along with you if they want something from you. So if you want your energies, let's say for example, you're talking to a girl and she fancies you, and you go, well, listen, this is what I'm really about, and blah 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 blah. What do you think? Do you agree? And they'll go, yeah. 3 months later, they'll come out with stuff that completely is the opposite of that, and you're like, but you agreed to what I said, and they were like, well, it's all changed now because and I'm not just saying girls. I mean anybody. It's when people impose their pattern on you. And
imprint.
They interpret what you're saying based upon their own understanding of reality. So they will always hear a different thing. And it's like, that's always been one of the hardest things for me in life is trying to get across what it is that I'm trying to say, in a way that is unambiguous.
That is the hardest thing. And one thing I've learned from you guys and others is it starts with you, because you are Q and you are God. It's hard to love or care for someone else and spread the truth if you can't do it for yourself first. Yeah. Now that comes into that whole realm where you got all these people saying, oh, service to self, right? SES. STS. And then service to others, STO, right? It's all about service to others. It is. But if you don't know this kind of stuff yet, you have to start with you first. Well, you have to go
first. And that's what Donald Trump's been teaching us as well.
Yes.
right? Because it's the same as the the airplane. If you start to crash, you have to put your mask on before you put anybody else's on.
Exactly. I've heard you say that before. That's a good one right there.
Well,
True.
it's just simple. It's just
Very
it's just
common
common sense. Common sense.
Yeah.
Which
It's
is
very
we live in a post common sense world.
Yes, it's so scary almost.
Well, yeah, I'm not scared by it. I find it amusing.
No, yeah. Maybe I said that. I was just going to say more fascinating. Yeah, you're right.
It
It's
can be
wild.
scary. What
No,
I'm saying is that I think it's a choice. I sometimes I do get wrapped up in it, and I go, oh my god, and I freak
I,
out. And I see Sam Smith in his transvestite gear, and I'm like, oh god, this is so disgusting. I fucking hate this. And then I'm like, hang on, I'm getting sucked into it again. I have to take a step back, and I think that's what it's all there for. It's all there
that,
for us to learn how to sit in our power, and also, like a video like this, there'll be some people watching this thinking we're a couple of crackpots, but a lot of people will be watching this going, yeah, that all makes sense, and that's amazing information because they're resonating with it because it's all frequency matching, always has been.
yeah,
And
yes,
it's simple. That's why when you do speak, you are being God. Like you said, let there be the word. For me, it was in the beginning was the word, and when it dawned on me, just hit me like a few years ago. Oh, in the beginning was the word. That's a frequency. All of creation is based on frequency. It just hit me.
yeah,
And once you get that, and then you add in
yeah,
this stuff with the numbers, and you add in the music, even the poetry. The poetry, most of my poems rhyme. And I had a lot of time at school being taught poems shouldn't rhyme. Poems should no longer rhyme. It's the same as the music with the 432 to the 440. And it's the same with the arts. If you go back 100 years, 120 years, you had Van Gogh doing Starry, Starry Night, right? I think that might be the song of his painting. But he did incredibly beautiful interpretations of nature. That man could make a chair in a room look like the most beautiful thing you'd ever seen in your life.
yeah.
Right?
That's not
Now, but then now you've got Damien Hirst cutting sheep in half, putting them in formaldehyde, and charging people $1 billion for this shit, right? And
yeah,
and if you walk through London or if you walk through California or New York or wherever, there are these art galleries. It's there. You can see it. Like even with the carpet in the hotel and the stuff that you're seeing in the casinos. Once you see this, the imagery, the black cubes and whatever, you can't unsee it.
yes,
And
no,
you do go through this period where, and I did this about 23 or 4 years ago. I was walking through Manchester city centre and I just learned about the symbolism. And I was looking at Manchester Town Hall and I went, oh my God, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. And suddenly you realize you're in the middle of it and there's nowhere to go. You can't run anywhere because everywhere in the world it's there.
yeah.
And then you go through this process of fear, like you just did recently. But then you get to the point where God goes, you don't have to be afraid of anything.
No, because it's all beautiful.
You're an eternal spirit.
Yeah,
What's that's it? He whispered in my ear. He's like, "What's the problem? Just
yeah,
get on with it. What's the right thing to do?" So it all comes down to this choice. And I love the way Bill Hicks put it years ago. He said it's a choice between fear and love, and it's that simple choice with every single piece of information you get, every person you meet, every decision you make on a daily basis, on a minute by minute basis. It's a choice between God and not God.
Absolutely. Fear and love right there.
That's what it is.
It's like balance of the scales. Which one you're going to fill up more?
So simple.
And just recently, I stopped being fear a little while ago, probably a few months after I didn't do the first show with you a while back. I was like, what am I scared of? Because God told me not to. But it's still, see how much time it took me. And then finally he just said, man, you're going to lose your window. What are you doing? Like, really? Like, come on, like, what are you scared of? I got your back, And once you realize this stuff, you're made perfect in the image of God. Because I hear people at work all the time go, no one's perfect. Oh, and I always want to just wring their neck. Like, you are perfect in the image of your creator because you are of the creator. You're perfect. Get that crap out of your head, you know? Drives me nuts.
I wrote a poem when I was 21. It was the shortest poem I ever wrote. I don't know where it came from. And it was simply this: there is nothing so perfect as imperfection. That was it. That was it.
That's very good. That's very good. All your poems are fantastic. I have them all saved. I show people all the time and they're like, who is this guy? You know?
But that's another thing. You see, you know, you talked about being autodidactic, right? And that's a wonderful thing. And I think that's what most people should be doing. And that's what I'm telling my kids. So you don't need school. You don't need university. If you want to be good at art, if you want to be good at flying, if you want to be good at gardening, if you've got a passion for it, you will be. You just will, because you'll find the information, right? And all the true learnings happens after school anyway. And all school's going to do to you is give you a mortgage and a headache and a fucking hangover, you know, at university. So, and debt, you know, that's the other thing. Kids saddled with £50,000 in debt. It's nuts. It's fucking nuts.
It is nuts.
So, you know, when you have a passion for something, if you just, you know, the reason I'm talking, I hope I'm not interrupting you too much, is
no.
It's all about the flow. And finally, it's all about the flow. Everything's flow. And to get to that point, you don't just have to let go of fear. You have to let go of guilt and shame. Because they're the other two things that they've trapped us with, apart from money, you know, poison, blah, blah, blah. My son's here doing weird things. I'm recording this. You can't be on camera.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard you say that I can't remember exactly how you said it, but you've said that you were willing to let go of everything, even your family, your children. You do have to reach that point. And then once you reach that point, it all starts to open up like that seed of life drawing that I showed you. Out of those 7 circles, all of creation starts. Everything. Do
you know what came to mind as you said that?
What?
A bird gets born in a nest. And its mother comes and feeds, or its father comes and feeds it every day. And then one day, the bird jumps out of the nest. It jumps out of the fucking nest, right?
Yeah. You have
a great height.
Yeah.
And it's never flown in its life.
No. And
that's what we got to do.
Exactly. And even if you fall to the ground, even if that bird falls, it's just like the sun and moon and that 8. It's that energy rising and falling when you go to sleep. You rise and you fall. You rise and you fall. So even if you make a mistake and you fall, you rise and fall every day anyway, even when you go to sleep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the first thing I do, even if I get up to go use the restroom in the middle of the night or anything, the first thing I do, the first thing that comes, I've trained myself to, first thing that goes through my consciousness is I thank God and I love God. Then I thank and I love myself. Every day, every night, that's the only thing that goes through my mind. All that other stuff tries to come in, but I've learned how to say, nope, no. That's all the out there stuff that I don't want in here. You know what I'm saying? Then as I get in the shower and I start, then I say it a few more times always. I mean, I do this constantly. It's kind of how I balance myself. And then I kind of let that stuff start to, you know, because I still have a job. I still have to go to work. I still, you know, like you said, the debt, the bills. I'm kind of like that 1 foot in, 1 foot out kind of guy. Like I'm trying to figure out how to get out of the system more than I am now, but I'm still 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And
it's not just the system. It's like 1 foot in 3D, 1 foot in 5D, you know, whichever one.
Yes.
On one hand, you're there communicating with God, you're getting all this stuff flowing through you, and then you've got to do the dishes, and then you've got to turn up and get a paycheck.
Yep.
And it's like, you know, and we're all in this kind of thing.
It's almost like a tug of war.
It is a tug of war. It's exactly what it is, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's the reason why videos on the internet have become so important. over the
Yes.
last 3 or 4 years for this process, just
Yes.
just to help people bridge this time, because it's a bridging time, because nothing can stop what's coming.
No.
The Great Awakening is happening at speed. Everywhere you look, you see it.
Full bore.
Everywhere, right? And we're going to be there to hold the hands of these people when they come out and go, "Oh my God, what the hell is this?" Because
Yes.
you know, that's
Yeah.
what we're here. I think that's what we're here for, is to help them.
We are, because with this whole, whatever they want to call it, and I don't know if you're putting this on YouTube, the whole thing that everyone took, no, not me and my family. But anyway,
we'll keep it coded, because I would like to put this on YouTube. I would like to put this on because it gets bigger audience.
Yeah. So I'll just, what do I call it? Just this?
Just that.
Yeah.
We all know what that is by now.
Yeah. I dove heavily into a lot of that research, and I have it somewhere. I have a pile of chicken scratch and drawings and stuff. I did a lot of the numerology on like the WHO, the WHO, and the CDC, right? Because C is 3, D is 4, C is 3. And what?
You just triggered something. Oh,
yeah, go ahead.
My word. Right. What did I show you earlier?
Yeah, go ahead.
Power of 3 thing that I showed you earlier.
That's why they always.
No, listen, dude. What's the name of the character that I showed you?
Oh
my God. I can't believe it took this long to realize it.
Yeah, the Doctor Who thing you showed
Doctor
me.
Who. This has been you've just solved something that's been bothering me for years. Because Doctor Who, honestly, it's been such a big part of my life. Just to explain to people watching, if you are a fan of Doctor Who and
yes.
No, I'm talking to the audience here.
Oh,
if you remember the Seventh Doctor, if you go and buy the Seventh Doctor handbook, I'm in it 4 times. There's a Doctor Who novel who has a character called Dr. something Attwood, which is based on me. I directed a play called Moths Ate My Doctor Who Scarf, which toured the world, ended up in the West End, and got turned into a BBC play. So this show has been very big in my life. But Doctor, as in medicine, Who, as in World Health Organization, it's all there.
Now it's all starting to hit you. Huh? Yeah. See, you've known all this, and that's why we all need each other. We're all helping each other activate or connect the dots as a whole.
Yeah.
As the big picture. I've heard many truthers say it. Yeah, it's like building a puzzle and everybody has a piece. You can't have the whole picture until every piece is in there. It's the same thing. So anyway, with this, back to what you were saying about how that's what we're here for them. We are, because at one point when I was starting to do all that, I was like, oh, that's real dark and that's scary. And, and they're different from us. And then God went, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like really? You're here because they need you. They're going to need you.
Yeah.
Lost their way, and in order to find out who they are to come back to God, which is them, which is God, then we have to be there to help them, to hold their hand. So I don't know that many truthers, but I know a couple, and they really like that. Oh man, I told you so thing, and I keep telling them no. That's
no.
You can't.
I got this so clearly because it was because I did a poem 2 years ago, which started off with the lines, "Okay, dear sheeple, you've had your fun. Now shit's about to get real. All that stuff you thought you knew, it's time you knew the deal." Now, the opening picture was sheep with masks on, right? So back then, and I said this when I was on tour in the States, in 2020, it was like anger at these people. And then it was like indignation in 21. And in 22 and 23, it's changed. It's compassion. And it's
100%
passion. So I don't know if you saw the video that I did on Twitter that had like 400,000 views, which was God told me, go and make a video and tell them vaccinated that you're there for them.
We are.
Because there's all this stuff going on about we're the pure blood. I mean, I saw a video today shared by one of my friends actually, and I thought I'll watch this because he's good, he's funny usually. And it was a woman basically saying, yeah, you told us to fuck off and die 2 years ago. Now fuck you. And it was like that. And I was like, no, no, no. That's completely the wrong message. This is not
Totally.
about going, fuck you. This is about
No.
going, you were conned. We saw it before you. And we know a little bit, we're a bit further ahead of the curve than you, and we're here for you. Because
We're here to help.
there are brothers and sisters, for God's sake.
We're all the same. We're all one. Where we go one, we go all is all of us.
Yeah.
No one left out. No one
left behind. No one.
And some won't want to be part of that. That's fine. It's like you said, it's all a choice and it's all an inner knowing. But the ones that are going to get it, whether it's with that or whether it's with whatever else events or whatever else, like these toxic chemicals and stuff. And we're here for them, because at one point, a lot of them are going to start coming online. And just because they took that doesn't mean that they have to go, I'm doomed. No. If you're a true man or woman of God, you could drink 100 vials of poison. And if God deems you,
I know this intuitively, and I've said many times, I believe in miracles.
They're not all doomed.
No, they're not.
No. Some will choose to be, and then they'll get it later on. They're going to get re-educated. That's fine. That was their choice. But I have a feeling that within the next 5 or 7 years, or no timeline, soon, within the next 10 years, this is going to ramp up and get worse and worse. And a lot of people are going to be scared, and they're going to have regrets, and they're going to need people. They're going to need people, especially the circles that you're in, Mark, like with the glutathione, with the MMS, with all this stuff. There's so many treatments that can deactivate this stuff that they're going to be fine.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's all that stuff just came intuitively. And it was like, and the funny thing about it was that when I, for example, I'm the guy that found Ian Clark.
Yes.
Ian Clark. I saw an advert with him on Facebook, and I was like, this guy's really interesting. So I wrote to them and I said, guys, have you ever, how do you feel about this situation we're in? And then he came back to me and said, yeah, I know it's bullshit. And I was like, so have you ever talked to people like me about it? He's like, no, I didn't even know you people existed. So I got him on, and because I was just really interested in how he saved his own life and decreased. And what I love, one thing that I absolutely love is if somebody solves a problem and then turns it into a business that then helps more people. I love that. It's sovereignty at its finest, right? And I said to him, do you have an affiliate scheme? Because I'm an internet marketer, so I had that background. And then what happened was that allowed me to continue doing this channel because we helped loads of people. He made a load of money, and I got some money that allowed me. And I was like, oh, I can keep this going without charging people any money.
You're helping loads of people in many ways, not just with knowledge and spirituality, like you said, with physical products and stuff on so many levels. It's not just you, but because of who you are and what you do, I've watched you grow so big, so fast, and that's huge. That's like monumental, man. It's
well, look, dude. It's just about being truthful.
Yeah.
It's like, look, I wear this.
I
don't talk about anything that I don't do myself.
Right.
And I never claim to be perfect. I fucked up my marriage. I fucked up loads of relationships. I've been an alcoholic. I've taken drugs. I've been an idiot many, many times.
It's okay.
But I've also achieved incredible things.
Yes.
But an amazing life. And that is the beauty of being a human being in this realm.
Yes.
You can be all these things.
Hey, speaking of, is that the LifeWave patch?
That is. And that's the Tensor technology.
I've read a lot about those. I have some back pain from some lower disc that I used to take a lot of pain pills and get epidural shots, and I just take kratom now. I don't take any of that stuff anymore. I like to be all natural and stuff. I've heard those things work well for pain.
Yeah, this one. works well for pain. That's the
It,
X39.
I was, yes, the X39, because it's been a month or so since I've looked at them. So they're worth it, huh?
Well, look, they work for me, and the
Yeah.
testimonials of other people are just off the charts. You know, I did a video today, and this kid had a terrible inflammation, and it disappeared overnight.
I'm just looking for the next phase.
I said, no, it's interesting you bring this up, Gabe, because I think a lot of these things are based upon belief. It's like you just said. You just said exactly what, and I think a lot of these products are bridging products.
Yes.
Because whether or not this actually does anything is massively based on my belief that it does.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
And I think that's really, really important, you know, because, you know, placebo is well understood. It's well understood. And
yeah,
you know, what we're trying to do, I think, as servants of God at this time, is that we're taking people that are completely and utterly brainwashed and addicted to the system and pharmaceuticals and television and money and debt and everything else and porn and all that. And we're trying to transition them to greatness. Now, in that transition, you might have to give them something else that kind of replaces the pharmaceuticals or replaces the food or replaces whatever that gets them on the road, because in 5 days, we're not going to need any of this. We're not going to need any of it. We are the med beds.
I was just going to tell you, you know what I've been telling myself lately, because I'm searching for the next step to do away with that. And I've come leaps and bounds, is God keeps telling me, you are the highest technology in all of creation. You are the
technology. This is it.
You are the med bed, and it's in the number coding. See, the numbers tell me everything. That once we all get fully activated, once those little telomere caps on those DNA, the Jacob's ladder, once that links, wow, man.
Oh, it's going to be I can already feel it. I can see it.
I can see it too.
Yeah. And we're kind of just like coaxing people through, right? It's like, come in. There's nothing to be afraid of. The water, it's a bit cold at the beginning, but you'll get used to it. And then we get to the other side and you're going to feel amazing.
Yes.
Because absolutely that's what's happening.
That's exactly what's happening. Like the last 2 days, I was real nervous how this meeting was going to go, but God was like, just be yourself. You have nothing to fear. You know, Mark's going to gravitate towards you. Just be yourself and just be you. It was the message that I got.
Well,
because
I squeezed you in. I squeezed you in because I'm on a day trip. I'm on a trip with my kids, right?
Okay. Yeah.
I'm in a weird place it's not very nice here, to be honest. It's the worst Airbnb I've ever been in.
Yeah.
But I said to the kids, look, I've got to do this talk with Gabriel. I don't know why. I just have. So just give me an hour or whatever and let me get this done, because I think I knew it was important. I didn't know why, but it's all intuition. And I'm sharing this for the viewers because we need to run our lives on intuition.
Yes.
That's what this is all about. It's coaching.
100%. And if you have to go, Mark, since you're there and you're with your kids, I can let you go. We can do another show and we can talk later.
I think we'll do lots more shows, but I'm conscious of the viewer all the time. And I'm wondering, did we cover all the scans that you sent me? Is there any more scans that you want to go through?
Here, let's go through this one real quick. I think this is the last one. Do you have a way to put these like in the description in pictures so that people can see it, so it helps activate them?
So what I was going to suggest to you is that I take these scans and put them in a single PDF, and then people can just download it.
Okay, I'll send you a whole bunch more things I've drawn on my wall that's in pen. I draw a lot of trippy stuff, and a lot of this stuff is it's based off geometry, which is math, which is activation codes, like light codes.
I think what we'll do, can you tell me which scan you want me to show out of these first?
Yeah, it's the one
screen. Can you see my screen?
That one right there, Seed of Life.
Thought so. Yeah. Okay. So what I was going to suggest, Gabe, is this.
Yeah.
We get this show up as soon as possible.
Okay.
Right. You send me all those scans, and it's going to take a bit of time to put those into a format, and then a mechanism for people to download them. We'll work that out, and we'll do a second show in a week or two with those ready for people. So we won't put anything up for people to download on this one, but we'll do a bit of preparation for the next one and get that sorted out. How does that sound?
Okay. That sounds perfect.
Great. Okay.
Perfect. But we'll go over this one real quick. So the seed of life, as you can see, it all starts with the 0 or the circle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all I did was start drawing. I drew 6 circles and I intersected them. That's the one that's right in the middle. And then on the outer circles, the straight lines where I drew the hexagonal shape, at all those intersection points is where all the energy meets. So that's how you get all your Platonic solid shapes, right? Is at all these intersection points. So you can draw anything in creation from these circles right here. Okay.
This is the flower of life, right?
Or the flower of life. Yeah. No, it's actually the seed of life. The flower of life is the much bigger one. It's the same
but what
thing.
I mean is the same thing, right? It's the fleur de lis.
Yeah, it's all the same. I call it the seed of life because it's where it starts, and then the circles, all the intersection points. So you can see the hexagonal shape I drew. It has 6 sides, but how I got that was not through formulas and stuff. You can do it that way. All I did was just keep drawing circles in a circle in the flow of energy, like a clock, like in a circle. Then at those intersection points, it gives me equal distances, right? So I can draw any straight lines. I can draw anything within those circles, right? So I just drew the hexagonal shape so that people could see that this is how creation and the numbers work. So at the bottom, I wrote carbon atom because it has 6 sides. You have 6 electrons, 6 neutrons, and 6 protons, right? And this is well documented. But here's how simple it all is. It's right from this center picture. Now, if you go over towards the right, where it's the 2 circles that has the Vesica Pisces in there, where it says 17, 17, and 34, each circle itself, I drew it like a Q, right? One of them's upside.
Why do they have 17 inside each circle?
Because God was showing me that Q is one of the most important numbers and letters and symbols.
I see. So the reason you got 17 is because you turned it into a Q from the circle.
Right. One of them's upside down and one of them's
gotcha.
See that? So it's like a mirror. So it's like as above, so below is how it showed it to me, kind of deal. So each circle by itself is the letter Q, which is 17. And when you bring those together, right, those two become 1. So 17 and 17 is 34, right? So in the center of those 2 Qs are the number 34. 3 plus 4 is 7. Right? So it's like saying the male and the female mate, and when those 2 cells, one from the male, one from the female, when the sperm hits the egg, in the middle is where the baby comes from. So there's that master builder number, the triangle, mother, father, child. This is all tied to it. So then I drew my own symbol at the bottom of those 2 Qs. So the Q on the right is 17. 1 on the left is 17. Add them together, it's 34. Bring those circles in together where they form the third energy, where all the magic happens. You've got the 7. So underneath that, I drew a symbol. I've never seen this symbol before. I drew it myself. I just drew a 3 and then put a line through it. So if you really look in the middle of the 3, there's the 4 in there too, the 3 and the 4. Yeah. So I have the number 3 and 4 in one symbol, which that's why next to it 3 plus 4 is 7. So that line.
Do you think any of this relates to the basis for hieroglyphics?
I do, this goes way, way back. This goes way, way back. And I've been told or shown that I will unlock many, many symbols with this artworks. There's a process to it. It's not just something I'm just going to do overnight. So there. So the one in the center, your 666, the carbon atom, the 6 sides, the 6 electrons, 6 neutrons, and 6 protons. Okay, that's your first circle from the seed of life. So from one circle turns into 2, male and female. They join. They have the child, which is the 7, right? 3 plus 4. And then if you go to the left side, now you have the mother, the father, and the child, all 3 energies, all 3 circles crossing over each other. Look at how many spaces you get. You get 7 again. And if you look at the building blocks of the human anatomy, it starts off with the egg, which is from the female creator energy. Then the sperm hits that egg, which is a circle. It's like a circle. Then the cells start to form. Then you have the 2, which is on the right, the 17 and 17, where they meet. Then they turn into 3. Then they turn into 4 circles. Then they turn into 5. Then the baby starts to form. It's all right here. It's all the numbers. It's all the geometry. That's why that's the second G in that Masonic symbol, because they know that the 3 G's is everything. It's all of creation. It's everything. And it's all simple. It all starts with this. I mean, it's hard for me to explain it because I'm not a mathematician and I'm not some far out scientist, but it's God using me to put this stuff out there to activate people, because this stuff is huge. This is huge. I'm telling you, this is big.
We are past the need for scientists. We're past the need for mathematicians. Those guys have been so overeducated that nobody understands the word they're saying. It needs a carpenter. It needs a poet. It needs a gangster. It needs somebody simple to, to get this across.
You're right.
And it's beautiful. Jesus,
I always just feel like
carpenter.
they're so well spoken and they're so, they're so prim and proper and stuff. And I'm just a normal guy. I'm just there's nothing special. You know what I mean? So
that is also the message from God. And the message from God is so clear. We've been bullshitted our entire lives that to be special, you have to be this, that, and the other. Kings and queens and politicians and business, it's all bullshit. Every single human being is special.
Every single one of us. I'm going to show you something here real quick, Mark. Speaking of the number 17. So I grew up, learning Eddie Van Halen's music. I got to meet him in 2004. I got to spend a whole day with him and the band, right? This is when I was massively brainwashed. So here's the backstage pass. Look what number I was. Add those numbers up. I didn't know this back then.
It's beautiful. I'm going to go through my cupboard to find 17 everywhere. My dad died when I was 17.
What?
My great-grandfather's dad died when he was 17. My son was born on the 17th of the 7th. I mean, that's just off the top of my head.
Yeah, no, that's constantly happening with me too. Constantly. I mean, I'd have to write it all down, but I mean, it's all synchronistic. Like, I'm drawing a blank on his name. His work. He's fascinating. He works with Charlie Freak.
Mark Devlin?
No, he promotes the LifeWave patch too. He usually wears a beanie.
I don't know his name. Well, there's a reason why people promote LifeWave, because they work. This is 5D bridging stuff. It's like all the links under all my videos and stuff that work. Grounding sheets, man. Why doesn't everybody have a grounding sheet? It's so simple.
I'm going to have to get some of those. I've heard you speak on those and a few others. I haven't had too many people, but I've heard a few people speak about those.
Well, grounding is the number one thing everybody should be doing, but none of us do because we're wearing plastic shoes. We're disconnected from the earth all day long,
Yes.
If you just put your feet on the ground and stare into the sun every morning, your life will change within a matter of minutes.
See, it's winter time here, so I'm up at 5,200 feet. So
why? You get a grounding sheet.
So when there's no snow, though, I usually come home from work, and before I go shower, I take my boots or my shoes off, and I go sit right in the backyard and stick my feet right in the dirt and the gravel and
Right.
the ah, and it's almost like I can hear the birds linking up with me and stuff. I've had birds come and land right next to me where I'm sitting there, and they're looking at me the way birds look at you. It's almost like I can hear them saying, "Aren't you going to pick me up?" And I don't, because I don't want to scare them. And I'm looking at them like, whoa, it's like trips me out. As soon as I'm grounded, all the magic happens.
Dude, I was at this place today with the communing with the wolves and the bears and the silver foxes. And while I was there was this scene in one of my favorite films called Highlander. Have you ever seen Highlander?
I have.
So there's a scene in Highlander when Sean Connery is on the beach with Christopher Lambert, and he sees the stag, and he's like, can you feel the stag? And he's like, yeah, this is called the quickening, and you gets the stag, and you can hear the heartbeat of the stag. And it's like, it was like that with me today. I could feel these animals. I feel connected to them.
Yes, we are.
I know there's people watching this going, well, why do you still eat meat? Oh, because this is the bridging time, right?
We're supposed to.
I'm talking to the viewers now because this is the bridging time. We're not going to eat anything in 5D. We don't need to. Breatharians, sunlight, whatever. We're light beings, really. Like Gabriel said, this is the lowest form of existence here right now. They have poisoned everything, right? If you're growing your own vegetables in a place where you know that, they're low oxalate vegetables and you're not getting any interference from the cabal, great, eat those vegetables. But I'm not touching anything that they've gone near. And meat that's why they're attacking meat. That's why Bill Gates wants to get rid of meat. That's what that's all about, is to teach you that, but the indigenous people ate meat. It's a species specific diet, but it has to be done with love. And I know we're not right there right now, but it's a step in the right direction towards your health and making yourself stronger to get through this period. That's all it's about. It's not about being anti anybody or anything. I don't want to eat an animal. I don't want to eat an animal. I really don't. Except cows taste really good. But
they do. And I beat myself up.
But I was communing with these wolves today.
That's amazing.
I was stood there with my son was going, "What are you doing, Dad?" And because I just closed my eyes and I was like, I'm talking to this wolf. It's fucking amazing. But it's not 100%. It's like a radio signal that's like at 20% where you can just hear it. You just there's definitely something there. Do you know what I mean? It's like that. It's amazing.
I know exactly what you mean. And I've heard you talk about this subject really big. Not to get off the animal one, because that's very important. All life, we're connected to all life. We're connected to the God field. God created everything. So it's everything, is every now and then I'm drawn to go outside at night, and I always look up. As soon as I go outside every morning to go to work, whether the sun's up or not, I always look up immediately. I always have. The sky just fascinates me. I feel like, wow, man, God's really, really shining on me, and he's up there. I know he's in here now, but I mean, I've always looked up. Sometimes I'll be like doing something here in the house at night, and something tells me, go outside and look up. And I go outside and I look up, and it's amazing at the stuff that I see. It's almost unexplainable. And sometimes it's almost like I link and I go, make like a Z or go across the sky real quick. And they do it. And then they'll disappear. I mean, I see weirdest things, and I've tried telling a few people, and they just think I am just crazy. So one night I took my oldest son and my wife out there because something told me, go outside. And I went outside and I go, what is that? And this thing was just coming across the sky, like it was almost like it was like energy balls, and it was just, it looked like it was coming out of a black void and going into a black void, but it went, like 3/4 across the sky. And I said, look at that. And they looked up and they go, what the heck is that? And I said, I don't know. I'm with you on that one. I don't know what that is, but we're supposed to see that for some reason. Oh, that kind of
this
stuff
happened to me. I recorded a video of Michelle Fielding yesterday.
Okay, she's great.
Halfway through the video, I had to go outside.
Wow.
I think we were watching something. We were watching a video on the video, but I got this go outside. I went outside. There was a ship. And I was like, okay, there's a ship. And I came back and I said to her, sorry, I had to go off screen because I just got the call. I went out and saw the ship. And then she said to me, yeah, there's a ship here right now. So she feels them energetically. I get the call to go out and look at them, and they want to show themselves to me.
I'm kind of like, yeah.
Yeah, what they do
And
is just they're just touching us to go, it's okay, you're doing good. Keep going, keep going. That's what it is, you know. And I know lots of people at the moment are really struggling with these energies and what's going on. And they've been
no,
all sorts of so many of my friends have been in really hard times in the last couple of years with demonic attacks and psychic attacks and bad things happening to them. And you know, and I keep saying the same thing to them. It's really simple. God wins. You are
yep,
a fractal of God. You can't lose. The devil wants one thing, for you to give in. That's all they want.
yep,
You give in. That's why they're teaching kids suicide in school now.
exactly.
They're teaching kids how to commit suicide.
So crazy.
Because
The stuff
that's what the
kids
devil
are.
wants. Yeah.
It's almost scary what these kids are seeing, man, and learning in school now. It's like I remember the stupid stuff when I was a kid. I'm 50, so they used to teach us like in a major earthquake or if a bomb goes off, get under your desk basically and kiss your ass goodbye.
Yeah.
It's all fear.
Why?
It's all fear program.
And I was like, I don't want to die under a desk. I'm going to grab the nearest girl I can and have sex under a tree.
I was like,
and it's going to be the best 4 minutes of my life.
Right. Somehow back then I knew that, like, okay, well, even if they kill me, I'm of God. So, okay. I mean, maybe it wasn't like that, but I knew, and it was like, wow, it's like they're trying to scare everyone, and that's why, because they're trying to keep you in those lower vibrations, in this realm,
Yeah.
because if they can keep you down in the mucky, muddy vibrations here, then they can control you. And then if they can control your mind, they can control your vessel, your avatar, your body.
Do you remember the film Threads, 1983, 84?
I do.
All that stuff. I mean, we were teenagers, man. We were like, what the fuck? Nuclear war? What?
Yeah. No, I know. And then look at where we're at now. What's all on the news? It's UFOs and nuclear war.
That's why I don't give a shit about it, because I know it's all bollocks.
No.
Sorry, my language is slipping here, and I do that. I swear a little bit.
Oh yeah. Oh, I do too a lot as a carpenter. I'm just trying to watch it right now for you.
So you're doing very good. You're doing very well.
Yeah. No,
I'm at the end of a very long day. You're probably still at, what time is it there? But it's 10:30 here at night. I'm running out of steam now.
I think I'm at 2. I'll let you go then, so you can enjoy your time.
I really enjoyed our chat.
Yes, me too.
You're doing great stuff. I really urge you to think about starting your own podcast.
I will. I've been doing this around for a while, so it's God working through you, telling me get going, because I've been trying to switch what I've been doing for a long time. It's just timing. I get it.
It's always timing. But you guys watching this, if you agree that Gabe should start his own podcast, tell him in the comments. Give him some encouragement. And you guys watching, start your own podcast.
Yeah.
Seriously, we need as many voices out there as possible, because we're going up against the biggest propaganda machine in history, and God's waiting for us to stand up and speak.
But guess what? Q sent us, so they lose.
I want to high five you there, but I can't because you're 6,000 miles away.
Yeah.
It's wonderful to meet you, Gabe.
We are Q. We are God. It's wonderful to meet you too, Mark. From the first time I saw you, I said, I know him somehow. I didn't know how, but I just knew. I said, wow, there's something there. It's like, it's like you said, you can barely hear it. I said, there's something there. So that's all I know.
We're just tuning in. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
I did a radio course when I was about 13, and I used to sit with the thing like this going,
yeah. Oh,
it's brilliant.
Hey, Mark, you were going to tell me something.
I was.
Off the show real quick. Tell me.
I'm going to tell you when we finish recording. You guys watch Thanks for watching. Thanks to Gabe. Leave comments, like, share, subscribe, all that bollocks. I'll see you later.
See ya.
Dave,
Bye.
hang on, Gabe. Don't go anywhere.
Okay.